All right, so we're doing the Philadelphia Eagles. The Eagles were a team that went to the wild card game. They looked like they were going to win the division, even the NFC crown at some point. Go back to the Super Bowl and prove to the sports world that the Philadelphia Eagles are here and they're going to be here. And they just fell apart, man. The coaching, the personnel, the defense fell apart. I mean, everything about the team unfortunately fell apart, and they became a team that wasn't even a threat anymore. I mean, I think losing to the Niners that bad in Philly, I think was a turnaround to their season, and it really made them exposed in so many ways. So they ended up being 11-6 though. They played Tampa Bay. They went to Tampa Bay and they lost. So this is a team that obviously is angry from what happened last year. Jason Kelsey retiring, Fletcher Cox retiring seems like a huge loss, but they definitely have in terms of the roster to be super effective. They added key pieces, and this is a team that's going to be dangerous at the end of the day. This is a team that everyone should look out for. You look at the Eagles; they were 6-2 at home, 5-4 away, 4-2 in the division. Scored 433 points, gave up 428 points. Definitely not a great Eagle defense at all. 16th in passing yards with 225 and a half. Eighth in rushing with 128.8. Seventh in points four with 25 and a half. But dead last with points against, man, being 25.2. I mean, they gave up a lot of points, dude. So not great. Yeah, it's a team that's trying to bounce back. I think they can. They have the roster to do it, man. His roster. Yeah, we start with left tackle Jordan Malita, who's the third best left tackle in the league. Yeah, I mean, pretty much um, immovable. Immovable. Malita is fantastic at his young age of just being able to just understand his assignment, and the fact that he's gone through some of the best pass rushers in the game and been able to just make it so effortlessly, so smooth. It's been great to see that. Yeah, Malita is huge. Then you got left guard Landon Dickerson, who's number 5 in the league. Definitely was him and Jason Kelsey together were fantastic. Definitely thought Dickerson would have been center at some point, but he definitely has the athleticism, everything you need out of a left guard, and he's just been doing such a great job. And him and Malita together, that's insane. But yeah, so you're looking at that. Then you got center Jurgens, who's going to replace Jason Kelsey. Jurgens has experience, though. He's played on the offensive line. It's not like there's anything new with that. So definitely understanding that, yeah, you know, he's got some young upside to him, but he's also experienced NFL football already. So I think he can transition well into that. I think him as a center, I think he'll be a lot better than expected. And I do believe he'll be effective, especially having the leadership that he has around him. I think he'll be great. Right guard, how about having the revival of Mekhi Becton? He was a tackle, drafted as a tackle, moving him to guard, a right guard. Yeah, I hope that he revives his career. I know he was in New York, and I mean, it's not a bad thing. This guy was looking like a top guy. I just feel like a new change of scenery might help him, and also he's playing in Philadelphia, so I think it's definitely going to help him, especially lining up with all these guys, man. So yeah, good but surprising choice for Philly. And then closing out with Lane Johnson, who's the second best right tackle in the league, behind Penny Sewell. Yeah, no question about it. Veteran, future Hall of Famer. He's been doing this for so long, but he does not miss a step at all as a right tackle. I mean, he's got a great lineup stance, and he really, really does not let anyone through there. Great run blocker, just very smart individual. So you gotta you gotta give credit where credit's due. He has been amazing in this offensive line, regardless of the two major changes at center and right guard. It's still really good. This is gonna be one of the best offensive lines in football. So watch out for that. On top of that, they got a quarterback in Jalen Hurts, who's number 6 on the top 10 list for me. Um, I mean, come on. It's Jalen Hurts. We don't have to talk much about him. He's a great elusive QB that gets it done. He wins games. And I know he's pissed off about how it ended last year. He's going to be a lot better this year. Um, The signing of Saquon is crazy. He's number 5 on the running back list, the top 10. Saquon has been a machine. He's had some injuries in his career, but having him in Philly is crazy just because of the divisional rival Giants. I think he's going to kill them when it comes to playing them. I think he's going to kill it this year if he stays healthy, which I believe he will. Um, yeah, he's a super big impact, and from DeAndre Swift to him, that's a huge upgrade. So, a huge, huge upgrade. The wideouts, I mean, they got probably one of the best cores in the league. You got AJ Brown, who's number 8 in the top 10 for receivers. AJ Brown, uh, pretty much Batman, like DK, like Swole Batman. Obviously, that's what he's called, his nickname. But like, yeah, he's amazing. Great yards after the catch for him. Devontae Smith, you're looking at this guy. Could be in the future Yak King kind of guy. Definitely amazing. Definitely great route runner. Super, underestimated because of his size. He's great, great receiver. Takes hits. Man, he's one of the best. He's one of the best, wide receiver twos in the league, man. And then you got Kevin Dotson, who is young, very young, and unproven, and ready to actually play ball. And I think having a quarterback like Jalen Hurts now, a real QB to throw it to, yeah, he'll be good. So I'm excited to see what he does, as well as Dallas Goddard, man, number 8 on the tight end list. Another guy who's effective, great pass blocker, great at being a receiving tight end. Overall, a great safety blanket for Jalen Hurts and that Eagles offense. So yeah, he's looking like he's gonna be having another great year. He's in good form. So you look at the defense, 3-4 base. You got Milton Williams, who's needs to step up. Obviously, I think he needs to step up a lot. He's already at the age where he's kind of looking like a veteran with not that great of a career, but overall, I think this could be his chance to step up as a leader and become better and help the guys around him better and produce better, right? So you got him. Then you got Jordan Davis, who was an honorable mention for D tackles. He's going to be electric. He's going to have more snaps played. He's going to be able to actually play the Fletcher Cox role of an everyday D tackle. So, yeah, no more rotation. I think he's going to dominate. He's huge. Jalen Carter's moving to D end. He was an honorable mention as a D tackle. Um, he's also a guy that's insanely strong, and he's going to be super impactful for this team. So, I really not much I can say. Those two guys together in the online, that's scary as hell. That is scary as hell. That's some Georgia D line there. Then at the linebacker position, you got Bryce Huff, who they got from the Jets. There's big things with him. He had 10 sacks last year. He's going to be a great outside edge rusher, definitely, for this team. This is what they needed. Losing Hassan Reddick, this is exactly what they needed. And I think he's going to do great things this year. At the left hand side, you got Bond. Zach Bond, revival for him. I mean, yeah. I mean, it'd be nice. I mean, he's gonna be like a leader. He should be kind of like a leader. He's kind of just that guy that just is trying to maybe prove it, because right now there's a full roster full of stars, and he's not really particularly a star. But it's okay because he's gonna have help from Devin White, who is number 5 on the top 10 list. Devin White has been, well, he's been an animal, all pro. He's been a Pro Bowl. He's won a Super Bowl with Tampa. He was a part of a great defense. I think he's going to do great things for him. And it's a great signing. It's a prove it deal. I think it's a great signing for Philly to try to get him to, to really just see what kind of thing he can do. And I think he's a better upgrade than Zach Cunningham, honestly. You're looking at Josh Sweat on the other edge rusher. He's going to have a fantastic year. I do believe that. He was number 9 on DNs. They're moving him to an edge. They're moving to outside linebacker. Yeah, this man's going to produce. I think he could really have Hassan Reddick numbers, honestly. The way he bends, the way he can get to the QB, man, he is a threat. Um, so yeah, and then you got the back end. You got the corners. Kelly Ringo, his first shot as an everyday corner. He was drafted about 1 or 2 years ago, so he is young, and I think he's going to have a good opportunity to showcase his talent. That's a great thing for Philly. Try to get the new guys. Like, they've had the veterans, and now they're bringing in the new guys to try to, they've learned under the veterans. Let's see if they can do it now it's a good thing. It's a good shot there. And he's going to have a great mentor in Darius Slay, who was number 6 on the corners list. Again, Darius Slay always be making plays, always still be, he still be surrounding the football at a great, uh, like at a great presence. You got to know where Slay's at. It's definitely locks up against some of the best defenders, and that's all you really need from Kelly Ringo to learn under him. And honestly, their nickelback is actually a great draft pick. Is a sneaky guy, Quinion Mitchell. Yeah, fast, definitely a ball hawk. Definitely going to learn under Slay, who's a huge time playmaker. Kelly Ringo, having these guys, looking up to him. I think this is huge for him. I think their defense looks a lot more solidified. It just seems like there's more leaders on this team. It seems like it's going to be more compact. Um, at the safeties, you got Blankenship, who honestly did have a really good year this past year, even though he did not get recognized. I expect big things from him. I expect him to be on an honorable mention or even top 10 list possibly. Yeah, he's not bad. He's gonna have a good year. I expect a big year from this guy. And then how about bringing in C.J. Gardner Johnson at strong safety again? He has a thing to prove, man. I mean, first of all, he was great. Got them to where they wanted to go. Got them to a Super Bowl. He was in a Super Bowl team in Philly. Went to Detroit. Um, didn't really do much, and now it's more of a like prove the worth, man. Prove what your name is. Prove that you belong in the league. I think he's gonna do that. I think him and Philly, knowing he's in Philly, I think he's gonna be comfortable. He feels like home, and I think he's gonna help out. Him and Blankenship could be fantastic together. Um, and then you got the special teams of Jake Elliott, who's number 4 on the kickers list. Phenomenal, automatic, like big moments. You want him there. Um, the punter Braden Mann, who's young, and then kick returner Isaiah Rogers, who's the corner. He's fast. Yeah, so I mean, overall, this team is rebuilt, and I think it's rebuilt in a way that's actually fascinating to know that veterans are there in units that can help younger guys in there, and them having this ability to be like, let's put the younger guys in because the older guys are either gone, retired, or whatnot. Let's test these guys, and I think this is good for Philly. This is good for the morale, and this team, I think, is going to benefit off of that. So as we're taking a look at the schedule, I think this is huge and super important to know that this schedule is going to test these young guys. Is going to test these guys that are in the roles of major contribution, right? But at the same time, they got leaders and they got some playmakers and some superstars in this team. So honestly, Philadelphia is looking exciting this year. They're looking better. So with that said, they're going to start off in Brazil against the Packers. The Eagles will win that game. The Eagles will definitely win that game. Then they'll go play Atlanta in Philly. They got a loss there. I believe Atlanta can get them. Uh, it's an early stage kind of set game. I think Philly will be tired from Brazil and come back, and I think they won't be the same. So I think they'll lose that. But then I think they're going to go to New Orleans. I think they'll win and beat New Orleans. They'll definitely go into Tampa. They will beat Tampa because of the loss, because of their wild card loss. That'll motivate them. Go to a bye at a 3-1 respectively. Then go play Cleveland and Philly, beat them. Go to New York, play the Giants, beat them. Go to Cincinnati. I think this is where they slip up. I think they lose this game. Yeah, I think they're on a high note, and I think this is kind of put them back to reality. Like, okay, we're great, we're good, but how can we be great? And I think that's gonna be a fire in their belly. I think they'll beat Jacksonville. Then they got 2 tough games in their division. I think they will drop at Dallas. I think they'll also drop versus Washington. Washington just knows how to play them, and they definitely get the best out of them. Definitely, they seem to beat them at least once every year. And Dallas is Dallas. They'll get them once. Then they'll go into the LA, play the Rams. I think they'll definitely beat the Rams. Go to Baltimore. I think Baltimore's energy and all that seems like a Super Bowl kind of vibe. I think those two teams playing together. I think they'll lose in Baltimore. It'll be a close one, but I think Baltimore will win that. Then they'll close the season out with a win streak. They'll go to play Carolina and Philly. They'll win. They will win in Philly against Pittsburgh. They will win at Washington. Win versus Dallas and win versus the Giants. All that having a great win streak there, bringing their total, and they'll have a record of 12-5. And I think this is a playoff team. Obviously, it's a team that definitely can contend for a Super Bowl. It's a team that is, I think, ready for the task of being back to being the top NFC guys, and they know that the dysfunction of last year is only going to motivate them to be better this year. So 12-5 respectively. Um, yeah, I mean this is going to be a really dangerous team, honestly, and really fun to watch.